Hi, my name is Jamin Goecker. I'm a realtor in South Central Alaska, and my mission is to help people build intentional and significant legacies for themselves and their families by coaching them in real estate. And a big part of that is making sure that you stay updated on what is going on in the local market. And today we're going to be taking a look at Anchorage. So, biggest market center here in Alaska overall, and we're going to be looking at the residential, the condo market, and the multi-unit market as well, just so you kind of get a 30,000 foot view. Some of these findings are pretty much what we'd expect. There are some surprises along the way though. So before we get started though, make sure you do give this video a like, make sure that you subscribe, and if you have questions, post those in the comment section down below. Now without further ado, let's jump into it. Now, number one, we're going to be checking out the residential market. And the first thing we want to look at when we're talking about that is the overall inventory. As this clearly shows over here, we have got way less inventory than we typically do. Just as an example, we have roughly about 524 homes, I believe, on the market right now here in Anchorage on the residential side, whereas last year, around this time, we actually saw there was over 800 homes that were on the market. So, way less inventory than we had this time last year. The second thing that we're going to be checking out here for the residential properties is going to be the average sold price. This is really fascinating to me, and we'll talk about it more later. But what we see here is the average sold price is actually going up, which is the exact opposite of what we expect for this time of year. Last year, the average sold price was roughly right around $360,000. Now it's about $407,000. This is higher than what we've even seen for the summer market in this area. Even the past summer market, this is higher. So it's highly unusual to have that average sold price actually going up for this time of year. So there you go, average sold price. Now the third thing we want to look at is going to be, what is our list to sales ratio? In other words, how much can you start out asking for the property, and then how much do you actually get in return? Well, what we're seeing is that over here, the average price that people start out at in Anchorage, the average, keep in mind, is going to be roughly about $418,000. The average price where they actually get an offer, so they have to come down to about $400,000 before they get an offer. But once they do get that, we see the average sold price for the last 6 months, not just for the past month, but the last 6 months, is about $397,000. So that's pretty healthy, actually, is what we're seeing. So you're going to get about 95% about what you asked for. Going to get about 95% of what you asked for originally of that $418,000. And once you do find that price where the market's hopping and the market's decided your house is actually worth that, that's when you actually see that you're going to get about 99.3%. I'm sorry, 99, yeah, that's right. About 99.3% of what you asked for once you get it to where the market is going to bear. In other words, you're not going to have a crazy situation where someone's going to come in and make an offer that's 10, 15%, 20% below what your market value of your property is and expect a good result. The second thing that we're going to check out is the condo market. Now keep in mind this is going to be closely reflective of what the residential market is going to be doing. It's not really a cause and effect relationship though necessarily. So let's take a look first off at the overall inventory. We have 340 condos that are on the market. This is significantly lower than what we see overall for the inventory for the previous years. Because this over here shows us that back in a couple of years ago, there was actually about 460 condos that were on the market. We're seeing less and less inventory for condos. Second thing we're going to check out is the average sold price for condos. Now over here, what we see is the average sold price is going to be about $207,000, $206,000. So it's actually staying more or less pretty steady. We see last month it was about 209,000. We're not coming anywhere close just yet for what we saw for the kind of the record at the moment of about 246,000. That was in December last year. So we're not seeing that we're just going to come busting through that record anytime soon. I don't know. We'll see what December holds, but that's kind of a favorable indicator for the moment. The next thing that I want to look at is just get a feel for the list to sales ratio for condos. Now, looking at this, what this really tells me is, first off, there's not a whole lot of difference between what people start at ultimately for a condo and what they actually get for it. Because here, we're seeing that the average place that people started asking for condos, the average asking price when they just get started, is going to be roughly about $219,000. Not bad. They typically have to make an adjustment about $4,000 down to roughly about $215,000. And then they actually get it under contract for around $213,000. So, $213,000. So what we're seeing here, there's really not a whole lot of difference in shifting between when they start and then what they actually sell for. So that's kind of promising. You do see over here the listing ratios for when they actually sell, not as strong as it is for the residential. Keep in mind this is going to be for the past 6 months, but that's still pretty healthy, especially keeping in mind that it's really only about $6,000-$7,000 difference between the two there. So, has this been useful for you so far? If it has, make sure you do give this video a thumbs up. And if you have any questions, post those in the comments section down below. I'll be happy to answer those as best I can. And if you have any theories about interpreting some of the data, by all means, throw those down there as well. I absolutely love kind of throwing theories around and interpreting the data and having good debates on that. So don't be shy to do that, and let's go and finish today's video. Lastly, let's take a look at the multi-unit properties that are being sold here in Anchorage. First off, over here, inventory for multi-unit families is obviously down. Right at the moment, it's sitting at about 190 homes or 190 properties that are on the market. The multi-unit properties are a little more difficult to kind of wrap your mind around an overall market update, just because it is just because it does include a lot of other properties types in that category as well. It's not like with single-family residential where they're all single-family residential. You can have a lot of different multi-units, but this shows us 190,000. That's still low inventory from what we've seen for the past couple of years. It's not getting anywhere close to what the record was for low inventory, which was kind of set, at least for the past 5 years, back in the past 6 years or so, back in 2014, where the inventory was as low as 99 properties on the market, but still pretty low. All right, now let's look at the average sold price for properties that are selling right now in Anchorage. Average sold price, about $441,000. What we're seeing across the board is that we're not necessarily setting records, but consistently we're getting a higher sold price than what we saw during previous years. A couple times we're kind of neck and neck or just barely under, but by and large, we're seeing that people are getting more this year for the properties than they did before. Now, to further illustrate this, let's take a look at this graph over here. This shows us the average sold price for properties is going to be roughly about $432,000, which is going to be a 3.5 roughly % increase over the sold price from the previous year. So that's a pretty favorable indicator and kind of just gives us a better sense as to the trend, and less so than just the past couple months necessarily. Now let's summarize all this real quick. Number one, inventory remains low. This isn't as strong for the condo market and the multifamilies as it is in the residential market, but it still is the case that we're seeing less inventory than we have in previous years. The average sold price, for the most part, we're seeing is actually going up as well. We're not seeing quite as strong of a sales price going up on condos as we had in the residential side, but still pretty favorable. And thirdly, what we're seeing is the days on market, though we didn't really discuss it here, is actually going down as well, which is a further indicator of a strong market. So if you're a seller, that means that you're probably going to be able to get more now during the winter months than you have during the past couple of years during the summertime. So that's really good news. Secondly, if you are a buyer, this means that we have got to be very intentional about the properties that we're looking at and about the steps we're taking to get you into a place. Because it can be done in this market. We can be the one that gets the house and gets the perfect place that you're looking for, but we got to come ready for it, okay? And we got to make sure that we're going through extensive coaching with you to make sure we're ready to pounce when we see the thing that's perfect for you. So I sure hope this has been useful for you. If it has, give this video a like, comment down below. If you'd like to get in contact with me directly, message me through my Facebook page, which is going to be in the description section down below, and I'd be happy to answer any questions that you might have. So thanks for watching, and see you next time.
Downloading my app is pretty simple. You simply scroll to the description section of my videos, click on the link there. It's going to take you to my website. From there, scroll down, hit download app. It'll take you to a place where you enter in your phone number. Enter that in, click send link. It's going to text you a link to the App Store. And from there, you'll have to click on that, enter in your email address, and then it's going to register you to the app, and you'll be able to start modifying your search. You can modify number of bedrooms, bathrooms, property type. You have a lot of modifications you can do on there, or just draw a shape to it. From there, you'll have the ability to go and just browse through, create your own specific saved searches on there that's going to make sense for you. Go ahead and add notes just so it makes sense. And that's going to be kind of the basic search capabilities. There are a lot of extra bonuses and things to this that make it really beneficial, like walking you through the entire process as a buyer or seller and giving you all the details that's involved with each one of those steps. So never at any point are you going to be lost in the process. So we've kind of just scratched the surface here, but that's just to get you started.